So, have you ever tried Git Flow? It's got that extra level of control with its develop and release branches, but it can get pretty complex.
Yeah, I've used it on a few projects. It works well for large teams where feature management is crucial.
Exactly. But let me tell you, when we moved to GitHub Flow at my last job, things just became so much simpler. No need to manage all those different branches. Everything merges back into master after a pull request review.
That sounds efficient for smaller teams or open source projects. Though, without separate development branches, how do you handle long-running features?
Well, that's where the beauty of short-lived feature branches comes in. You create them from master, work on your feature, and then merge back quickly. Keeps the workflow streamlined and everyone's changes visible right away.
Makes sense. Still, Gitflow provides clear separation, which can be important for releases and bug fixes.
True, especially if you're doing frequent releases or maintaining multiple versions. But think about this. How many times have we had issues merging because someone forgot to update their branch before starting a new feature?
That does happen quite often. With GitHub Flow, those conflicts should occur less frequently, since everyone is always up to date with master.
Precisely. And let's not forget the simplicity factor. It really reduces the mental overhead of keeping track of what goes where. Plus, it aligns better with continuous integration practices.
Definitely more straightforward for CI pipelines.
Absolutely. Absolute. Now imagine trying to set up automated testing across multiple branches, like in Git Flow, versus having a single flow through master in GitHub Flow. Speaking of which, have you ever dealt with hotfixes in the middle of a production emergency? That's where having a clear strategy for handling those becomes critical.
Oh yeah, that can get tricky. We usually use Gitflow for its dedicated hotfix branches, which help isolate those urgent changes from ongoing development.
Right, but even with Git Flow, coordinating those hotfixes can be a bit cumbersome. You need to create a branch off the latest tagged release, fix the issue, merge it back into both master and develop, and then tag another release. It's a lot of steps.
Indeed, it requires careful tracking to ensure no conflicts arise once everything gets merged back.
On the other hand, with GitHub Flow, you might just spin off a quick hotfix branch directly from master, push the fix through a pull request and merge it back swiftly. The simplicity here can really pay off in high-pressure situations.
That does sound more direct. Though, ensuring all team members are aware of the immediate change could be challenging.
True, communication is key there. But tools like automated notifications and concise commit messages can help keep everyone informed quickly. Plus, having fewer moving parts means less chance of something slipping through the cracks during an urgent fix. That's a good point. Speaking of which, how do you handle feature branch isolation? It's crucial to avoid conflicts and keep the main branches stable. I am one C.
We typically use long-lived feature branches in Gitflow to manage larger features. This keeps them isolated until they're ready to be merged into develop.
Yes, but managing those long-lived branches can get tricky. You have to regularly rebase or merge from develop to stay up to date. In contrast with GitHub Flow, short-lived feature branches are created from master, worked on quickly, and then merged back shortly after.
That approach does reduce the chances of major conflicts since the branches don't diverge too far from master.
Exactly. Plus, it encourages smaller, incremental changes that are easier to review and integrate. Have you ever encountered a situation where a feature branch became so complex that merging it back was a nightmare?
A couple of times, especially when multiple developers were working on different parts of the same branch over an extended period.
See, that's where frequent merges or rebases become essential in Git flow. But even then, it can still be a challenge. With GitHub Flow, the idea is to keep each feature small enough to be manageable and reviewed quickly. That brings up another interesting point. Merging versus rebasing. Each has its own set of pros and cons, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Merging keeps the full history intact, which is great for tracing changes and understanding the evolution of the codebase.
True, but it also leads to a more cluttered commit history with all those merge commits. Rebasings, on the other hand, give you a cleaner linear history, which can be easier to follow.
Yes, rebasing definitely simplifies the history. However, it can rewrite commit history, which might cause confusion or conflicts if others are working on the same branch.
Good point. Rebasing is best done locally before pushing your changes upstream. It's all about maintaining a balance between a clean history and preserving valuable context.
Definitely. The choice often depends on team preferences and the specific needs of the project.
Exactly. And it's something we need to decide early on to avoid any headaches down the line. Have you ever had to deal with resolving conflicts after someone else rebased their branch unexpectedly? That's a valid concern. Speaking of which, how do you enforce branch protection rules? They're crucial for maintaining code quality and preventing accidental changes.
We use them heavily in Git flow. Protecting the develop and master branches ensures that only approved changes get merged into these critical branches.
Absolutely. Branch protection rules can prevent direct pushes and require pull requests to be reviewed and approved. This adds an extra layer of safety, especially for production-ready branches.
Agreed. It also helps in enforcing consistent coding standards and automating checks before merging.
Right. And it's even more effective when combined with automated tests and linting tools. Have you ever had to deal with someone bypassing these protections due to an urgent fix?
Yes, it happened once. We had to temporarily relax some rules but made sure to re-enable them immediately after the fix was deployed.
That's smart. Communication is key there. Everyone needs to understand why temporary exceptions are being made and agree on the process to avoid future issues.